Hi students, in this video I'll be going through the 2021 O-Level Paper 2 question 6. Okay, so as you can see, this is another question on binomial theorem. Okay, so let's read the question. So in part A, they ask us to find the 1 over x squared term and the 1 over x cubed term in the expansion of 2 minus 3 over x to the power of 6. Okay, so if you recall, if you're asking the question whether do we need to use the formula for the general term, right, for this particular question. Okay, so let's examine that now. So the general term will be TR plus 1. Okay, then you will have, okay, over here n is 6, right? So 6 choose R. Okay, then 2 to the power of 6 minus R, then minus 3 over x to the power of R. So if you look at this general term, right, ask yourself, if I want to get the x squared term, do I need to go and find this general term, go and simplify this general term, and then go and find the r? Or can I tell what is the value of r that I need straight away? Okay, you see, if whenever you have a binomial and only one of the term, okay, so inside a binomial, there will always be two terms. Okay, that's why they call it a binomial. Bi means two, okay? So the first term and the second term. Okay, if only one of the term has an x, so in this case, you see the first term is just a constant 2, it doesn't have an x. So only the second term is negative 3 over x, right? Only the second term has an x. Okay, for such a case, you can actually tell, if let's say I want the 1 over x squared term, I can tell straight away which is the value of r that I need. Okay, which is in this case 2 lah, right? Because only when I put a 2 here, then I square the minus 3 over x, right? Then I will get 9 over x squared. Then I will get the 1 over x squared term already. Because down here, there's no x. So the first part of this term is not going to affect the power of x at the back, right? So in this case, for binomial, when there's only one term with an x, then you can actually, if I want to find 1 over x squared term or 1 over x cubed term or any other term, right, I can zoom in straight, okay, to the r that I need, okay. So in this case, if I want the 1 over x squared term, so I can just actually straight away write this 1 over x squared term, okay. So I can straight away tell that since r is 2, then I will need 6 choose 2, okay. I will need to do 6 choose 2. Okay, then 2 to the power of 6 minus 2, okay, then negative 3 over x squared. Okay, so I can straight away get the term that I need. Okay, so 6 choose 2 times 2 to the power of 4, you can work it out with your calculator, you get 240. Okay, then negative 3 over x squared, you get 9 over x squared. Okay, so you will get your answer as 2160 over x squared. Okay, so straight away I can get the term, right? Okay, so you can actually do this quite fast. Okay, I took so long because I was explaining the idea to you, but if you understood the idea, you could have gotten this within 1 minute, right? Okay, so 1 over x cubed term. Okay, so you can pause the video and answer this. For 1 over x cubed term, what would the r be? Okay, so it's quite obvious that it's going to be 6 choose 3, right? Okay, then you'll get 2 to the power of 6 minus 3, then negative 3 over x cubed. Right, then you just work this out. 6 choose 3 times 2 cubed, that will give you 160. Okay, negative 3 cubed will give you negative 27 over x cubed. Okay, then if you multiply, you get negative 4320 over x cubed. Okay, so you can see that over here is a 4-mark question, but it's like so easy to get the mark, right? Okay, so for A math, usually not the whole question is difficult. Usually the first part of the question is slightly easier. Okay, so definitely need to pocket all these marks, right? Okay, let's take a look at part B. Okay, so for part B, they say that there is no term. Okay, no term in 1 over x. Okay, no term in 1 over x means, in other words, they are saying that there is no 1 over x term lah, okay? That means in this expansion, when you take this one times this one, okay, when you expand all the things, right, you won't be able to find any 1 over x term, right? So find the value of the constant a. Okay, so let's write out the question first. Okay, so now let's re-examine this question. If there's no 1 over x term, what can you say about the coefficient of the 1 over x term? what will be the coefficient of the 1 over x term? If there's no 1 over x term, that means the coefficient has to be 0, right? Because 0 times 1 over x, okay, then will become 0. Then the 1 over x term will disappear. Okay, so the coefficient of the 1 over x term is 0. Okay, so basically what we will do is we will try for this multiplication, right? We will find the 1 over x term and then sum up their coefficient and then equate it to 0. Okay, but now we need to answer this question. Where is the 1 over x term? Okay, where is the 1 over x term? Or what will be the multiplication? What will be the product pair? That means what term from here times what term from this side will give us the 1 over x term. Okay, so let's examine. Okay, so over here we have x squared plus ax. Okay, this one is fixed. There's nothing we can do here. Okay, so now my question to you is this. Okay, let's think about this. Okay, so this is something that actually coming out more and more frequently. So you need to know how to answer this kind of question. Okay, x squared times what term, right, will give me 1 over x term. Okay, so ask yourself, x squared times what term will give you 1 over x term? Okay, so you can see that, okay, after thinking for a while, I hope that you are able to come up with this. X squared times 1 over x cubed term, right, will give you 1 over x term, alright? Okay, then the next thing, x term. Okay, so now here we have x, just now x squared, right? Now it's ax. Okay, we examine that x times what will give you 1 over x term. Okay, so you should be able to answer faster now. It will be the 1 over x squared term, right? Alright now. Okay, in other words, from here, we need the 1 over x cubed term and 1 over x squared term. Alright, and you should realize that actually we already have both terms from part A. That's why part A is they are helping you. Okay, so we need these two terms so that the term in the first binomial multiply over will give you the 1 over x term. Alright, okay, so let's do it. So we need the 1 over x squared term and the 1 over x cubed term, okay, which we are going to take from the part 1. Okay, so just write dot dot dot. Okay, so the 1 over x squared term is 2160 over x squared. The x cubed term is 4320 over x cubed. Then you get this, right? Okay, so now let's form an equation. So these are unknown that we want to find. So one unknown only. So one equation will be sufficient. So coefficient of 1 over x term. Okay, so since there's no 1 over x term, means the coefficient as discussed earlier will be 0. So we write equals 0. Okay, now we extract out the 1 over x term and then the coefficient from here times here and then we equate it to 0. Okay. Okay, so the first thing is, okay, x squared times what term will give you 1 over x. So as mentioned earlier, is this one. Okay, so the coefficient is 1. The coefficient is negative 4320. So 1 times negative 4320, okay, will be the coefficient of 1 over x term. Okay, but then there's one more over here. Okay, ax times 2160 over x squared will also give us 1 over x term. So the coefficient will be a times 2160. Okay, so we just have to do some simple manipulation. So over here we will have 2160a. We'll bring the negative 4320 over, so we'll get 4320. Okay, divide the 2160 over, you will get a nice number of 2. Right, so I hope you understand what's going on over here. Okay, so actually not too difficult. Once you get familiar with this, get familiar with the way we think, okay, to solve this question, then you always ask similar questions year after year. Okay. Okay, so using the value of a found in part B, find the coefficient of x in the expansion of x squared plus ax. So it's the same expansion, just that we are going to use the value of a, which is 2 that we found earlier. Okay, so let's rewrite the question. But the way to think about this question is actually exactly the same as the previous part. Okay, so this expansion is the same. Okay, you can just double confirm. Okay, 2 minus 3 over x power 6. Okay, so now let's think. Okay, now we are going to multiply over again. Okay, but now instead of 1 over x, we want x term. Okay, so question to you, x squared times what term? Okay, so x squared times what term will give you they want the x term, right? Okay. So you should be able to tell that it will be the 1 over x term, right? X squared times 1 over x will give you x. Correct or not? Okay, then next one, x times what term? X times what will give you x term? Okay, so this one is quite obvious, will be the x to the power of 0 term, right? Correct or not? In other words, the constant term, the term without the x one, x power 0 is 1. Alright, so now we need to search from here. We need to find the x term and x power 0 term, okay, or the constant term. Okay, this one is the constant term. That means just the number only. Okay. Okay, so let's do that. Okay, so these are the two terms that we need to find. Okay, so let's do over here x squared plus 2x. Okay, so which one will give me the x power 0 term? Okay, remember, go back all the way to the general term. Okay, so if we want x power 0, then r will be 0, right? R will be 0, that means 6 choose 0. Okay, then if I want the x to the power 1 term, okay, the x term, right? Okay, this one, x to the power 1, then it will be 6 choose 1. Okay, right? So we are going for the 6 choose 0 and the 6 choose 1. In other words, the first two terms are, okay, 6 choose 0, 2 to the power of 6 minus 0, minus 3 over x power 0. Okay, and then the 6 choose 1 term. Okay, power 1. Okay, then dot dot dot. Okay, so these are two terms that we need. Okay, so 6 choose 0 is 1, 2 power 6. Okay, then negative 3 over x power 0 is just 1 also. So down here will be 64. Okay, then for this one, you just work everything out. 6 choose 1 is 6 times 2 power 5 times negative 3. Okay, so you will get 576 over x. Okay, so now we can extract the coefficient of x. Okay, they want the coefficient of x. So coefficient of x will be x squared times this one, right? Correct? So it will be 1 times negative 576. Okay, and this one plus 2 times 64. Okay, which will give you negative 448. Right? Okay, so part A of this question was very easy. Okay, part B and C require some thinking, but now that you have gone through this question, it should become better for you, because once you get familiar with this method of thinking, then it will be easy already now. Okay, so basically think about what terms do I need for the second part of the expansion, and then go and find those terms. All right.